Hello and welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Jessica Clemons, and we've been grasping to every little bit of new information regarding the Fantastic Four first steps, and boom, a set photo leaked, or set video. It's more of a video, but most people are sharing the photo. This photo with Ben Grimm, which we were immediately all stoked on. The suit, the look, everything's great. However, it's immediately stirred speculation and hope that Marvel is allowing this Ben Grimm to be like 100% practical effects, which Marvel hasn't really done for a character or actor in a very long time. Because when we did use Ben Grimm's Michael Chiklis from the early 2000s, that was practical. And during the time, making it CGI would have probably made it look bad. Now with better technology, it's more common to blend practicals with CG or use some motion or performance capture. In this video, I'll be discussing Ben Grimm's photo and how it's not going to be 100% practical, but a splice of both CGI and practical, but also discuss how this suit correlates to the comics, what it can tell us about the scene, and everything we know about Ebon Moss-Bachrach's version of the character. But first, be sure to check out nerdriot.shop, where you can support the channel by grabbing some awesome merch inspired by some of your favorite fandoms. And right now, nerdriot.shop is having a Labor Day sale where you can buy one shirt and grab another for 50% off. Make summer last forever in a new nerdy shirt. Check out all our fabulous merch options over there at nerdriot.shop. Okay, let's get into the video. Practical effects versus CGI has been a debate in film and a never-ending discussion, if you will, for a very long time. I'm sure most of you watching this already know the beef or have chosen a side already, but some of you might not understand why it's such a big deal. I'll explain that first and leave a section in the YouTube time bar for you to jump to if you already know the differences, advantages, and shortcomings of both and just want to jump to the Fantastic Four of it all. Practical effects are physical props, costumes, and other items used on set rather than computer-generated ones. And practical effects are great for production. They help the actors with the actual frame or reference. It can help the art department set the scene and is great for close-ups. For us, the audience, practicals feel more authentic than CGI, especially with the advanced or better projection screens or cameras. Mostly Guillermo del Toro stuff is like this, and look at how fun, mystical, and beautiful it is. I love Guillermo del Toro's work. Christopher Nolan also won't shut up about it for Oppenheimer, having used propane and gasoline to recreate the Trinity test. So why not just stick with practicals if everyone loves it so much? Why do we have so much CGI nowadays? Well, there are many reasons, but it kind of comes down to cost and gain. Essentially, practicals cost more, or more so CGI is less costly. It also allows you to literally make anything, digitally create and remove things quickly rather than creating an entire set. I love remembering how great the Barbie sets were, which were very practical, but making like Lord of the Rings or some insane abstract mystical world would be really complex to do solely on practical effects and requires a little bit of CGI, if you will. You think Transformers can just be practical? Get out of here, that's impossible. Well, guess you could put a man in a giant car suit. It wouldn't work. Our legs are too tiny. I fantasize about having my own personal chef, somebody who can do all the hard work of menu planning and meal prep. Someday I'll get there, but in the meantime, I have Cook Unity. Cook Unity is basically a pipeline from your home to dozens of talented chefs that cook delicious, inventive meals, fresh every day in regional micro kitchens, not warehouse production facilities. Their roster of all-star chefs include Food Network alums, James Beard Award winners, and acclaimed restaurateurs. Cook Unity is the first chef-to-consumer platform that delivers freshly prepared, pre-selected meals right to your door weekly. The subscription is super flexible. You can pause, skip weeks, or cancel at any time. It's super easy to do. You can pick from over 350 meals each week based on your dietary needs or what kind of cuisine you like. Monday night, you could have Ruben Garcia's crispy tilapia. Tuesday's dinner could be Esther Choi's teriyaki roasted salmon. Oh. And Wednesday, you could have Stacey Barang's grilled Asian hanger steak. Go to cookunity.com/nrockstars50 or click the link in the description and you can use the code NRockstars50 to get 50% off your first order of Cook Unity meals to try them out yourself. CGI allows you to stretch the imagination and build out the world to its fullest. With James Cameron's Avatar setting a high bar and really pushing the boundaries of CGI and performance capture, we can see how it's getting better and feels more reliable, especially when disasters arise on set. Our problem with it is its overuse in the industry, especially today. Big studios like to duke it out to bring the biggest spectacle, so we're seeing a lot of heavy CGI in movies, and sometimes, more often than not, it just doesn't look good. It looks artificial, and when it seems artificial, it takes the viewer out of that emotional attachment to the film. Compare both Lion King movies. Why is the animated 90s movie much more emotionally impactful than the newer one? It can feel hard to value CGI when we lose that emotional attachment. Marvel is known to sometimes blend both practicals and CGI, and it works great. They did it with Man-Thing for Werewolf by Night. For Alligator Loki, they used a reference Stuffy to help with the eye line and layer on top the CGI later. It's common for Marvel to use practical on-set references or suits sometimes, then layer CGI on top of it later, which is what is happening with this leaked video of Ben Grimm. I've only seen this singular video, but like what they're doing here for Rocket, it looks to me that this is a stand-in in a suit for reference that will later have Ebon Moss-Bachrach's performance capture overlaid. Performance capture is like motion capture, it's just performance capture captures like most of your emotions and the details in your face and expressions. Ebon Moss-Bachrach mentioned how they're using performance capture for the suit in a Jimmy Kimmel interview, and I know this may make some of y'all sad seeing as we've had a practical Ben Grimm before. Still, as Ebon mentioned in that said interview, and not to mention for the actor's sanity of not wearing that heavy freaking suit 24/7, 24/7, it's easier and just looks better to not make it a practical suit the entire movie that he's lugging around in. If CGI was better in 2005 and didn't look like a PlayStation 2 game, I'm sure Chickless's Ben Grimm would have also been CGI'd. So let's look at the costume. Firstly, from the eyebrow line, you can tell they're pulling his appearance from the comics. This shows how closely they already want to stick to the original material, which all Fantastic Four fans want. Matt Shakman, the director for the new movie, mentioned how he looked more to the comics rather than past movies for references and inspiration, citing Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, John Byrne, and following all the way up to what's happening certainly Jonathan Hickman and Mark Waid and Ryan North. He's already doing excellent fan service because Ben looks like the real life Jack Kirby thing, which is lovely. I'd argue the closest we got to him like that was in the first Fantastic Four movie that no one actually saw. The leaked Fantastic Four trailer revealed the group in the same costume we see the stand-in wearing. It's very quick, but you can get it. You see a little glimpse of it. I believe this is after they gain their abilities because look at just how big Ben Grimm is in the middle. I'm sure these suits are newer and made to fit their new abilities because for the majority of the trailer, they're in different suits. The other suit's neckline is white and stretches over the shoulders, down their arms. It's more blue across the shoulders, white gloved, like their colors inverted. Overall, it feels like they've inspired their suits for first steps by taking pieces from specific designs in the comics. Thanks to Walt Hickley's article on Marvel exploring the Fantastic Four costumes, you can see how they transition in style and function over time. Sue cultivated the iconic blue design and jumpsuit in issue number 3, and then later came the white high collar John Byrne design, and then the 90s V-neck design, which I do not like, but to each their own. Looking more at this leaked image, the background of the leaked video looks like dirt and mud, like a drained river or just like at low tide. And I wouldn't say this is a different planet per se, but a place in their world. In an interview with EW, Matt Shakman mentioned this not being an origin story, saying one of the ways we're making it our own thing is we're not telling the story of them going up and being changed and starting our story there. So they're starting the movie after the fact, which makes sense. The story of the Fantastic Four is too well known. The Four embarked on a journey into space that exposed them to cosmic rays, which gave them superhuman powers and abilities. They freaked out about it before pledging to be heroes. Most of us know this by now. So since this movie isn't showcasing that origin story, I'd assume this scene is during the fight with possibly the Mole Man. Mole Man was the first villain in the Fantastic Four that appeared in Marvel Comics and other minor cameos later on. And again, this is another fun thing to pull from the source material. Mole Man hasn't been confirmed, but we know Paul Walter Hauser was cast in the movie and allegedly liked some things that alluded to him playing Mole Man. Fantastic Four Updates shared a tease of Mole Man in Fantastic Four First Steps, his subterranea off the East River to be exact. I believe if this leak is a scene at a drained river, this could have been caused by Mole Man when he emerges from below. The hole he creates pulls the river into the cavern, draining it. This leak could link to Mole Man and maybe their first official fight in the movie, seeing as they just started shooting in July and this leak just came now in August. All in all, the leak can summarize a couple of things for me and offers new theories. One, we're working with practicals and CGI. This isn't just 100% practical. Two, the comic material absolutely inspires the suit and the body of the thing, and it's nice to know the source material is being used, which sometimes isn't the case in Marvel things. And three, this might be another tease at Mole Man's arrival. You let me know what you think about Ben's new look. If you believe this is connected to a fight scene with Mole Man, let me know how excited for the Fantastic Four First Steps you are. Follow me at Lulu_Clemons and subscribe to all 3 channels in the new Rockstars network for more breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.